of Tailored Living here with me today. Hi, Jill. Welcome on this gorgeous day.
Martha, how are you?
I'm great. I'm loving doing these things. It's so much fun to chat with people, being at home, but I feel like we're in the same room almost.
I love what you're doing. Keep doing it.
Oh, thanks. It's so great. So Jill's and her husband own a franchise of Tailored Living, which is something I think that we're all thinking a lot or doing a lot of, which is closet and garage organizing. And I just said to Jill that my project this afternoon is to organize my closet. And I wanted to, there's a lot of things that people are doing in their home. And before we got online, you had mentioned that people are having a different relationship with their home. And while maybe people aren't necessarily doing construction projects, but there's a lot of other things that they can do. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about what we were talking about with the new relationship people are having with their home right now that we're all forced to be here.
Exactly. I would love to. Maybe I can just start by sort of clarifying what business we are
Please.
in. At face value, what we do is we come into people's homes and design and then install custom cabinetry, whether it's for the closet or for the garage or the pantry or the mudroom or the basement or the laundry room, etc. It's really taking that skill set and helping people to make their homes more functional. But we like to think of what we do more at a higher, more sort of inspirational, aspirational level. And that's really to help people get the peace of mind that comes with having an organized space. And when we were talking about the relationship that we're all sort of having with our homes, is I think, certainly speaking for myself, I'm looking at every sort of nook and cranny of my house differently and trying to figure out how to make it better. And I think we're all sort of going through that. And as spring turns into warmer days, we get that instinct to clean out things and to organize. I don't know about you, but when I go into a space, I either sort of get a feeling of calm or I get a feeling of sort of chaos. Like when my office is a mess, I don't feel like I'm going to be productive. And I feel like a lot of people are going through that now and trying to figure out what can I do now to make my space better.
Exactly. And I mean, I know that I work from home normally, but even when we started to be isolated, I had a real impulse to clean and to make things flow better because I couldn't just sort of close that door and walk away. I was here and in it and wanting to function and have that sort of calm, because that the calm is not what you see even when you go outside and when you go to the grocery store, etc. So
no,
yeah,
that's for sure.
It's full of tension, and you want your home to be that safe place. So we had talked about some tips and some things that people could do at this point when they're cleaning out their closets, or
Right.
You even mentioned the pantry.
Yeah, I mean, I can sort of talk about it with two hats on. With my tailored living hat, I would suggest that if you or you know somebody who kind of wants to get an actual physical project started, we are taking advantage, like everybody else, of virtual technology, and we can actually look at the space with you and use our 3D software to start to design a new closet solution or new whatever it is, a home office solution for you. And we can't install it, of course, right now, but we can begin to take that project along. And then if I take off my tailored living hat, there are lots of other things that we can just do in our houses. We can look at our pantries, we can organize our spices and organize our shelves, and maybe take a bag or a box and find some things that we would like to donate to others in our community who are doing not as well as we are and who need help. And I know that any fire station will help you collect that safely if you drop it off. Of course, you can clean out your closet. We've got lots of tips on doing that. I do know, though, that the organizations that normally take clothing donations and other household goods can't do that right now, and those goods will end up in landfill if you try to bring them to a Salvation Army or elsewhere. So please don't do that. Just put them in a corner, and but do get the satisfaction that comes with kind of doing that springtime activity of cleaning and that sort of productive feeling.
Well, I love that. I love the idea of taking the food, or we have some craft dinner in our
Exactly.
pantry right now that needs to get out, and great thing to do with kids too, to take them to the fire station. Obviously you can't play on the trucks like they would otherwise let you do, or to a church. But what a great message for kids to be able
Absolutely.
to do. So tell us a bit more about the 3D software, about what it is that you're able to provide to people. Like, is it and the scale of the projects that you commonly do?
Sure. Um, Probably more than half of what we do is closets, and that's why this industry is sort of called, custom closet companies. But we
Hmm.
do so much more. We sort of apply that skill set to different parts of the house that could benefit from custom home organization and storage solutions. We're lucky because about half of what we do is with the interior design community and the
Hmm.
builder community, and so we do have some projects that are coming in and that are underway right now, which we feel sort of fortunate compared to some other
Hmm.
organizations that are totally
Yeah.
having to stop. But we're all learning new skills with this technology. We also do some work with the condo development community, where we
Hmm.
will become the provider of closet upgrades for people who buy a condo unit and they want to sort of upgrade from the bar and
Yeah.
shelf, the rod and shelf, which is a sort of a side aspect of our business. But yeah, I mean, it's really it begins usually in the home. And we begin by getting a really solid understanding of what does my customer need to accomplish, what's not working for them now, what is the challenge, and then how do they want to use the space? What functionality do they want that space to deliver for them? So we begin this dialogue, whether it's in person or virtually nowadays, and we get a really solid understanding of who they are and what they need. We then sort of apply our design expertise, which is what we're really bringing to the table, and we plug that all into a software that's proprietary to our company. We call it Da Vinci, but it's really a CAD software, which is sort of what an architect or a designer
Hmm.
would use. It's a rendering software that will allow us to build the room and capture every single electrical outlet or chandelier or obstruction or whatever it is. So when our clients take a look at it, they can really visualize. And I know a lot of people don't naturally have that sort of ability
Hmm.
to. I didn't.
Yeah, I certainly
I've
don't.
learned it, but to sort of see what the after would look like,
Hmm.
because they only can see the before. So that's kind of how we begin the process, and then we can do the fun stuff like looking at finishes and accessories and colors and styles for drawers and doors. And then the garage is another place, of course,
Yeah.
where we do quite a bit of work. And we've done some pretty spectacular man caves and women caves
Exactly.
for clients over the years. But yeah, it's all rooted in that really intensely consultative process. I have a little story that I tell sometimes, which is when I had my closets done years ago by another company before we had this business. Nobody ever really asked me like what I needed. They just said,
Hmm.
"Here's your design, and do you like it?" And I was like, "Okay, sure, yeah, it's great." And then I waited a really long time to have it installed. So we like to think we can do a little bit better than that, and a lot of it is around that sort of visualization, and the 3D tool helps a lot.
Well, one of your clients has just made a comment, Scott Waldron. He said that
Oh,
Tailored Living did our window storage seat in the living room, and they said it was an amazing job. So it's everything from closets to any type of storage, and obviously that's
that's
a
right.
piece of functional furniture that is also a storage unit.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
it's
it looks
everywhere.
good, and it
Yeah,
actually serves a unique purpose for him.
it
We've done a
totally.
few things with him, and we delighted to work with him.
Yeah, Scott's great. Scott and I are in the travel business together, so
Nice.
that's it's very fun. That and he's coming online on one of these shows in
Oh,
the
good.
next couple of days in order to tell us about what's going on within the travel industry from his perspective. So that's
Well,
really
that's going to be an
great.
interesting one.
Yeah, it's very interesting
Oh my
right
gosh.
now. So, but we're going to post all of the links to your Facebook page and to your website so that people can go on and take a look. And obviously, they can reach out and get in touch with you if they have any questions, I assume, and very easily through those platforms. And yeah, the spring cleaning, I mean, I know we just put out 7 bags worth of yard waste this morning from a backyard. And you know, when you're here at home, you start to see how things maybe aren't flowing the
Yeah.
way you want or aren't serving the purpose, but you quote tolerate them because it's just low down on your priority list. And
Well, we
uh,
don't have that excuse anymore of no time
exactly,
because we're all here in our houses.
we've
So
got time, but we can plan, right? So it's always a planning process is I think the most important part of any sort of job, because once if you plan properly, then the execution is a lot more seamless. It takes less time. Everybody understands what they're working towards, and so like my thought is that people shouldn't be waiting until the restrictions get lifted, but rather plan now so that you can execute and do well later.
absolutely. And you get this wonderful feeling of accomplishment, and you can tackle these things as a family.
Hmm.
Go room by room and just get stuff done.
Right. Exactly.
If anyone has
Exactly.
any questions, whether it's directly related to what we do or anything else, I got time. Give me a call.
Great. Well, thanks so much, Jill. Thanks for taking the time to come on. And I know that this has been super beneficial. It's been very interesting for me. And again, I encourage anybody to reach out to Jill at Tailored Living Toronto for any sort of storage solutions, organization solutions, and because the pictures that I've seen have been absolutely fantastic. So thanks so much.
Well, Martha, Mark, and I really appreciate the opportunity. So thanks for the invite.
Thanks. All right. We'll see
Stay
you.
well,
You too, and we hope to see you live and in person sometimes very soon.
for sure.
Bye bye.
Bye.